Hey everyone, here's my review of the Aqueon LED Mini Bow 5 with the Smart Clean technology here. So this is what it of course looks like. So the box. So it is basically just a normal Aqueon LED Mini Bowl, except for that it has the really cool feature of the Smart Clean, which we'll talk about a bit more in depth here in a moment here. So that is the main feature of this. Uh, Get it back on there. So first, the design of this. Again, it's basically a mini bowl. I do wish this was a bit skinnier. This is pretty bulbous. And actually, it's kind of rounded too. This, like I said in my other video on this tank, reminds me of like a kid's drawing of a UFO or something, just without wings. Or kind of like the Jetsons flying cars. If you guys know what I'm talking about on that. This is kind of what it reminds me of, especially with this bulbous look. So everything is plastic on here. It is not glass. Everything's plastic. This is black, of course. Then there's also a gray one, which I did not see. My Petco did not have gray. They only had black. This is normally 65 bucks. When I bought it, though, they had it on sale for like 25 or 20% off. So I think I paid somewhere around like 50 bucks for it. For 50 bucks is not too bad. But again, you can go to Walmart and buy a standard 5-gallon tank or even a 10-gallon tank, glass rectangular tanks for like 30 bucks or so. Oh, I have a baby in there. Did not know I had a baby in there. So it is definitely about. It is really about double the price of what you can get a standard tank from Walmart for. Uh, but of course, this is a bit more unique and it's kind of cool looking. Then you also get that Smart Clean feature. Personally, not something I will really use. I'd rather do an actual cleaning, an actual get it into the gravel, get all the nasty out of it. But if you need to do just a very quick water change, this is actually pretty cool. And this thing is super fast. We'll show off in a moment here with the Smart Clean, Easy Clean technology. Yeah, so this is 5 gallons. It also comes in 2.5 or 1 gallon. I would highly recommend getting the 5 gallon over either of those. Then there's also a 2.5 gallon and a 1 gallon beta version of this. The 2.5 gallon one of that comes with a divider as well. Again, I would highly recommend getting the 5 gallon or the 2.5, or especially not the one. The one's just way too tiny for anything. So let's start from the top, go to the bottom. I combined top and bottom there with bottom. So this is again plastic. You have this giant feeder hole here. The reason why this is not lining up is because my heater cord is kind of messing with it. So you have this giant feeder gap. There is no actual flap though. It's just this hole. So hopefully fish will not jump out. I mean, if they did, they'd be really good jumpers. Because I mean, it's good size, but it's not that big. And then you have quite a bit of distance from the water to up here. But maybe you have a crazy Olympian fish on your hands or something. I don't know. So at least it gives you a feeder flap, which I do like. Come around the back here. Alright, I fixed my heater real fast. Come back around the back here, you see there's a gap here for cords all across the back, almost all the way across the back here. Then of course you have your spot for your light. Then this is the filter. Then I have my 50-watt heater in here as well. So there is room there, that way it sits flush. Again, it is pretty bulbous, so it's not exactly skinny, as you can see there. Top here is also black, bottom is also black, it's just plastic. And I think this is actually a better quality than the Fluval Beta Premium Kit base. If you guys saw my videos on that, that have super kind of cruddy, flimsy base. This is actually decent plastic, way better quality than that tank. Even though this is a Aqueon and not Fluval, it's kind of surprising that. On the side here, you can see the intake. Let's see, put more light on there. And then I also have my black Aqueon heater here to go along with the black theme. And then again, this is all plastic, and it is a bow front, so to speak. It does bow out, just like bows up top. There's a side profile there. So I personally do like the design. Some people may not, because again, it is pretty bulbous. So it comes with the one Aqueon filter. I believe it is size small. Let's see. You see the flow rate is actually pretty decent coming out of it. And then coming out of the top here, it's actually pretty decent. Does not mess with my guppies whatsoever. If you have a long fin beta, I could see it being a bit of an issue. But the farther down you go into the tank, the less that seems to bother the fish. And especially guppies are crazy swimmers anyway. For the most part, they're usually pretty good swimmers, so it doesn't bother them. They actually seem to like the current here. I just have 3 female guppies in here. And then this is the smart clean. So you pick it on up, it stops the flow. And then you can push it back down, and then it starts to flow up again. So what you would do, of course, is put it off to the side because it is also adjustable. Let's see, I'm going to do it this way so I don't get water all over my stuff here. But so you can extend it, and that way you can go off the back or the side. Probably want to do the side here. And then again, push it back down, and water comes back out. Now you can actually move this thing all around, so you can squirt yourself with it if you want. You know, maybe you're hot or something and just need to be cooled off. You want some nice fish water on you. You can do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. And yeah, so it means this thing is super adjustable. And 2, you can also adjust where it's coming out on your little pad here. So I mean, if you want over here, you can do that. Over there, you can do that. You know, move it up or down, whatever. I could just keep it right on the X. There's an X right there. X marks the spot. That's where I've been hitting mine. You see, I actually have mine lifted up a tiny bit. So this is down all the way. I have mine up a little bit. I just prefer it like that. Don't know why. I just do. See on the sponge or the cartridge here, it is getting a little bit dirty. I only have 3 fish in here. They haven't been in here for too long. And I don't feed them. I don't overfeed them whatsoever. So I only feed them once a day, as much as they'll eat. So yeah, so it seems to do a decent job. Alright, and then to show how easy this is here, I have that off to the side. I'm just do this with one hand while my other hand's on the camera, so we'll pick it on up. Wait a few seconds for it to stop dripping. It's somewhat stop dripping there. I want to extend it out. Just don't pull on it too hard, or otherwise you might lift up this entire basket. Push it off to the side here, and hopefully when I hit this, we'll push it back. Let's see how well this works. We'll push it back down. And voila. It does come out quick, so be careful. Yeah, then when you're done filling up your whatever, pick it back up, push it back down, and voila. Now you have a bunch of water in here. This was already in here. This nastiness was from the last water change or whatever I did with this thing. That was not from this. So I mean, it's going to be, for the most part, pretty clear water because you're not picking anything out of the gravel or anything like that. Just like any of these newer fish tanks that have similar technology to them, it just gets rid of top water. I mean, it's getting rid of water from wherever where the intake is. So keep that in mind. This is not a full-blown water change, but it will, for a very quick, it says 2-minute water change, just get rid of water, replace water for whatever reason you want to do. It'll do it. It should not take the place of a full-blown water change where you're digging around in gravel and getting all the nasty out of it. It'll get rid of some nasty, but nowhere near as much as an actual water siphon water change would do. But nonetheless, it is still a cool feature, I think. Next, I want to talk about the light here. So sorry if I'm going to blind you all. There are 3 LEDs. They are nice and bright. Here it is with one light on in my room. No lights on in my room. Pretty dark room. Super nice and bright. I imagine you can grow some low light requiring plants with this if you want to. Yeah, like maybe mosses or moss balls or something like that. Maybe some of the Anubis, Java Fern. You might be able to get some of that to grow in here. I might actually try that eventually here. But the LEDs are actually pretty nice and bright. I was surprised. Again, I actually like these lights better than what was on the more expensive Fluval. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, so this is again basically a Aqueon Mini Bowl with the added feature of that really cool, but to me not that useful, smart clean technology, which some other brands are doing as well. Some very similar, as they also have some similar in their smaller like 1 gallon tanks too. That's not a mini bowl. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think of this tank. I think it's actually a pretty decent tank, but again, if unless you want something that's more or less unique, you don't mind a rectangular tank, I would go and just buy yourself a standard tank from Walmart. You'll spend about half the price. You can even get a 10 gallon tank for about half the price of what this thing costs. But if you want something more unique, you want something that you can do very quick water changes with, but not full blown water changes with, this is a good option. It is 5 gallons, so it's not small, or not too small, I should say. Uh, Good, perfect size for a beta. Maybe a couple of guppies like I have in here. Uh, yeah, you guys let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.